Yes, guys, Arsenal 4, Chelsea nil. Utterly terrible, terrible performance from the boys last night. I went to sleep, woke up, and I'm still vexed about it. So we're going to just sit here and vent about it, then talk about the Timo Werner news for a little bit. Big up everybody that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button. Let's try and get to 500 likes before the end of this video. In the comment section, just let me know what you thought about that game, because there is just so much to delve into. That was absolutely atrocious. I don't care if it's a preseason game. I've already said it's Chelsea versus Arsenal. If you lot can't turn up for this sort of game, then there's problems. If you guys are going to perform like that and get given the runaround by a team that finished below us last season, then there's problems. If the midfield's going to get bypassed like that, there's going to be problems. If our attack is going to be static like that, there is going to be problems. And we had all of that in a perfect storm last night. It was utterly, utterly terrible. I need Koundé's announcement immediately just as a distraction, because that was absolutely shocking. I'm trying so hard not to swear right now. But yeah, let's just get into it. Like and subscribe, smash the bell notification button as well. It's Arsenal 4, Chelsea nil. I have never seen that scoreline in my lifetime, personally. And even though it is a preseason game, I don't care. Because like I said, it's not about the results to a point. I get that. But it's about the performance. And our performance was shambolic. From the first minute to the last, we let Arsenal run rings around us. I will give them credit because they dominated us too, and they played very well. Likes of Odegaard, Saka, Jesus as well. Like every single preseason game I'm watching from this guy, I'm regretting the fact that we didn't make a move for him properly. That guy has got the movement, the ability to create his own chances and chances for other people as well. And he's got the flair that we absolutely lack up top. Our attack, compared to seeing Gabriel Jesus and Saka and Odegaard, is a joke. Timo Werner, I am telling you, this guy is he is the most frustrating attacker that I've ever seen. He's got no technical ability about him. His touch, we ripped Lukaku for his first touch. But no one will say nothing about Timo Werner. Or we've already said everything that needs to be said about Werner, and nothing has changed. Now, I'm going to get to Timo Werner's arse later on in the video as well, because some of the quotes I heard from him are baffling, embarrassing, and just plain delusional as well. But I'll wait for Timo Werner. I've got enough smoke for him. Kai Havertz. I have already told you a lot about Kai Havertz. He is the most overhyped player in this squad. He has not had a good preseason at all, static as hell, and I still don't know where his best position is. He's a 9 that can't finish. He's a winger that can't take players on. He's a creative player that can't create, so you can't play him in the midfield. What is he other than an Alvaro Morata regen? Because he's good at heading and link-up play. Nothing else. There was nothing else to his game. The midfield, like, that was utterly terrible. Mason Mount was trying to hold that midfield together, but Gallagher was way too aggressive and way too rash. And Jorginho, like, I'm a huge fan of Jorginho, but that guy got bypassed for absolute fun. Two of the 4 goals were off the back of him ball watching or just being absolutely poor and trying to get the ball back from the Arsenal players. But again, it was an absolute team collapse. It was a team failure. The first goal, like, it was just a poor pass from Trevor Chalobah under no pressure. And it was a good finish from Jesus as well. I have to give him credit for that. But Chalobah, he needs to stop rushing out at the slightest hint of danger. It's the same thing we saw from David Luiz back in his early games. Absolutely kills our shape, and it allows space for players to run in behind, as we saw happen twice last night. That needs to be improved on. I also think, like, we're in another situation where until we get better personnel, dead the back 4 talks. Dead them. There is no point of even going into this sort of discussion about playing a back 4 when we don't have the personnel to control the midfield. When our attack just sucks. Our attack is absolutely atrocious. And defensively, we are better suited to a back 3. Especially seeing as we have players like Chalobah and Sarr who are only used to us playing in a back 3. Like, for right now, if we get Jules Koundé, stick to a back 3, and I think it's the best that we could do for the season, because we already know we're not going to get all the personnel that we're going to have in this season. So I don't know why we're persisting with these back 4 talk. Hey, he gets the best out of our attack, blah, blah, blah. Our attack is shit. Our attack is absolute shit. We have terrible attackers. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear any more excuses for these guys. And the midfield as well, not good enough. Like I said with Jorginho, he got bypassed way too easily. The second goal, like, again, Mendy's distribution put everybody in danger. And I'm gonna say as well with Edouard Mendy, he has to pattern up this season. Otherwise, we need to have a conversation with him too, because he ended last season poorly. Same thing with Jorginho. Both of them ended last season poorly by their standards. So they have to turn it around this season. Otherwise, the questions are only going to get stronger for the pair of them. And both of them were responsible for that second goal. Mendy's distribution poor. Jorginho's just ball watching and lets Odegaard run right behind him into space. And it was absolutely terrible from him. The third goal was just Alonso getting absolutely smoked. And every year I sit here and wonder why we still have this guy at our football club and how we survived yet another transfer window. But then I realised that we don't have wing-back depth. We're not even looking for wing-backs right now. So we could be stuck with Marcos Alonso for another year. Although I say that, I do hear Alonso's transfer to Barcelona is in its final stages. And honestly, just let him go for wherever the price tag is. I don't care if Barcelona are stingy. They can have Alonso for all I care. It's Aspi where I want them to fork up the money for. But Alonso, he got absolutely smoked by Saka on the right-hand side. Then I saw Xhaka flick the ball over him like he was one training cone. And then Jorginho got bypassed again by Saka in the build-up. And then they got the third goal off a Saka rebound. The fourth goal, the amount of space Lokonga had left, he could have built a spliff in the time that he took to get into that position. It was terrible. Absolutely terrible. But then it was just the icing on a terrible cake that was our performance. And like, honestly, I need to ask questions about what are we trying to do? Because I can see patterns of play from Arsenal. I watch Man City play. I'll see patterns of play from them. With us, we're still in a case of experimentation. Like, we're trying a back three. We're trying a back four. We're trying various players in different positions, which I get that you can do in pre-season, but I don't understand what our style of play. And this is, again, why I look at people saying, oh, don't bring in Ronaldo. He's not going to fit Tuchel's style of play. What's the style of play? Because I'm struggling to see it right now. The only thing I could see that I've seen consistently is we try and play balls into the box. I mean, low balls into the box, which would be perfect for Ronaldo and it would be perfect for Sterling. Other than that, please don't tell me Ronaldo doesn't come in and play any worse than our attackers does, as a bare minimum. I don't want to hear it. Really don't want to hear it. We absolutely struggled yesterday. Absolutely struggled. We barely got the ball forward, barely did anything while Arsenal pressed us like we were Liverpool, like they were Liverpool or Manchester City. And I'll be real, I am a little bit worried for this season. I'm really trying not to be reactionary, but like, we haven't looked good in pre-season. We've had like solid halves, but we've never had a solid 90 minutes. And we're still not playing our strongest 11. Arsenal played their strongest 11. We didn't play our strongest one just yet. And to be honest, I don't even think we know what our strongest 11 is, which is very worrying coming this close to the season. Also, we haven't played a lot of pre-season games. Arsenal have had 5. We've only had 3 so far. It feels like we're a step behind everybody else. It really does. And I'm not looking forward to it, but we'll see if Udinese's any different. All I can say is, like, this game, absolutely terrible. And it's worrying. It's worrying looking towards next season. A small positive was Koulibaly looked good when he came on. Like, I'll give him that as a positive. But other than that, absolutely shambolic. Now, Timo Werner, because I wanted to come back to him because I saw this news that from Plettigol a couple days ago that I never spoke about on this channel. So I want to talk about it. Because Werner is apparently annoyed by Thomas Tuchel being too critical and sceptical. There is no harmony between the two. Werner likes Chelsea a lot, but he wants to play regularly in order to have a role at the World Cup in Germany. His recent statements were heard by Werner, which is Tuchel's, and Werner is dealing with a possible departure, but the final decision will take time. The only thing I will say is I understand Werner's stance in terms of wanting more game time for the World Cup. And I could understand the frustration if you weren't single-handedly one of the worst attackers I've seen at Chelsea Football Club. Like, I don't understand it. Tuchel is being too critical and sceptical. The nerve, the absolute nerve of a 270k a week player who is looked at as one of the biggest flops in Chelsea history, the worst finisher I've seen in a Chelsea shirt, by the way, one of the worst first touches and ball control that I've seen from someone in a Chelsea shirt, by the way, and he says Tuchel's too critical and sceptical of him. Brother, go on Twitter and look at what people are saying about your performance yesterday. Go on Twitter after you play a game and then see sceptical, see critical. That is criticism. Like, the absolute nerve. If it was someone who was actually playing consistently well, I would understand it. You're not playing well. You haven't played well. You had a 3-game purple patch in April, and that was it. Other than that, like, you have been utterly terrible. Unless it's Southampton, you don't turn up. So I don't blame Tuchel for being frustrated. Tuchel has every right to be frustrated, but for me, the only problem is we're not focusing on our attack right now. We're focusing on centre-backs because we have to undo all the damage that Marina did to us last season. But we still need to look for better attackers. I saw Tuchel's quote on a lack of goal threat. He said we have the same issues because we have the same players. Damn right. Damn right we do. And it's the same players that are making the same issues for us up top. If they're not missing chances, they're just static and they're not moving. The same thing Lukaku got criticised for, by the way. Or their first touches are just absolutely atrocious. Or their touches in possession or their final ball either kills the attack or it sets us back another 10-15 yards. It's just absolutely disgraceful. And for Timo Werner to say that Tuchel is too critical and sceptical of you, have some damn shame. Like, seriously, the only reason why he's still here is because I think the club are still trying to get the majority of their cash back for Timo Werner. And that's a joke too. How are you expecting to get that back? We're the dumbasses that paid 50 million for him. Just get rid of our loss and get a replacement in. But yeah, I could rant for another 10 minutes, but like, I need to go gym. So big up everybody that's locked in. As always, smash the like and subscribe button. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And yeah, peace and up the Chels.